Okay, set up the recording, and I really hope I get to see all of your faces today, wherever you're tuning in from. Okay, and let me just set up co-hosts so that you can let some people in. All right. Thank you, Doctor. All right. So we are on. Oh, I really hope I get to see your face today. Erica, Bridget, and Dr. Denise, we are going live in just a second. Let's click that on Facebook. Okay. Recording. And we, I believe, are live. So, ladies, welcome to day 2 of the Confidently Stand Up and Stand Out Online Challenge. This is a challenge crafted specifically for you ladies to tune in to your unique and authentic brand voice, because we all have a uniqueness to share, and that is the secret to really getting the ideal clients that we want and the ideal life that we want working with these beautiful clients. So come on into the room. It's okay. Clap your hands. Do it up. Yeah, do a little dance. Do whatever makes you feel good. I'm just going to share my screen now. Woo! So today is the day that one of my favorite days of this challenge, where you get to speak your passion into existence. So, what does it mean, speaking your passion into existence? Well, that is one of the key parts of this challenge, is saying what your trueness, your authentic and unique passion is. Coming into the room, yes, please make sure your microphones are muted. And sometimes we forget what that passion is. And it's understandable, because we have so much coming at us, as maybe some of you are new business owners, or some of you are seasoned professionals who are watching today. And I'm glad you're joining me as well, because sometimes we lose track of why we got into business in the first place. And it can be because, again, marketing can tell you to market to the masses and change your message. Sometimes we get caught up on having the perfect title or having the perfect banner to attract our clients, and we can spend weeks and weeks working on those, I would say, frills and fancy things that can take us into a different direction. And sometimes we just forget what our core passion is. And I think most of us here have a core passion for helping people, whether it be you're working with women entrepreneurs, or women in general, men, teens, children. Always remember, we want to remember that passion that we have for love and life and everything else. And so I'm here now. I just want to take a quick moment to say we remember today is September 11th, and I always make a point of remembering where I am on this day, and just remember the suffering of the families who lost loved ones, including my aunt, and we remember you. So, day 2, we are going to talk about emotional copyright today. And passion, emotion, that's all connected. And it's here, it says through emotional copywriting, you can create an emotional connection between your audience and your brand. And this, particularly if you're working in a field with women, sometimes many of the times, I would say, we remember how we feel. We might not remember all the details, but we remember how we feel about an experience when we go into a shop or when we go to simply sit and have a coffee. That is what we tend to remember. And your audience is going to remember that. Your clients are going to remember that as well. So we're going to work on creating that experience for our clients today. Now, I just want to say that at the end, if there is some time after, I may be going over time with some of you just to get into the homework or the assignment that you did yesterday, which was, what do you expect from accountability partner? And this is one of the things that I am going to be creating for you in my community, accountability partners. And of course, we will have our video challenge for today coming up later. All right, so looking at what is emotional copyright, it's basically connecting the dots between you and your audience or your potential clients. So this requires some non-cognitive skills, social skills, for interacting with your brand. Now, remember what we talked about yesterday, the difference in the brands and of yesteryear, where you just saw an advertisement over and over and over again on TV, but they also created a trust because you knew that brand on site. But now we are coming forward, and we as women are the brand. So before I go any further, I want to just remind you all to get your workbook. I'm putting the link in the chat. And for those of you that are joining me on Facebook, you will also see a link. It's vip.odivirtualacademy.com. And that is where you'll be able to take notes and keep track of where we are. So here are some of the keys to emotional copyright. Self-awareness. This is a really big one. Self-management, getting the awareness, then managing that awareness. Self-motivation. And this is really good for those of you that are just getting started. And again, for those of you that are seasoned professionals and you've had a business for a long time, it's always good to go back and look at what your core motivation was so that you can stay on track with that. Empathy. So I always feel, for me, as I'm trying to build a sisterhood community, empathy and self-motivation go hand in hand. I can't separate the two. So we are definitely going to dig deep today. I'm going to give you pauses to look in your workbook and take notes today. It's a lot more mellow, slower paced day. So let's look at self-motivation, which is going to be focused on identifying your unique who, what, why, when. And I love these W's. These are something that I always tell students when I'm teaching English to look into. These are the keys of building communication or sentences. And these are going to be some of the keys for you to identify with your brand. Try not to go any further with developing your external image before you develop your internal core. So first thing I say is dig deep. I want you to dig deep, and you see this in your notebook, until you workbook, until you strike gold. The gold is your why. Say it again. The gold is your why. Why are you doing this? We talked also yesterday about, are you doing this because the crowd is doing it? It will not be sustainable if you are following the crowd. I remember when I opened my English school in 2016, it wasn't popular for people to teach online, especially when they knew they could access the teacher face-to-face. And then in 2020, one of the agencies that I worked with had, they had a boom. They went from, let's say, 800 online English teachers to 8,000 online English teachers. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, everybody was jumping on online to teach, because they felt, okay, in this pandemic, this is an easy way to make money. But it's not sustainable if that is not what your heart is in. And that is why I continue to thrive during those times. Yeah. So your why is also your anchor in the storm. Your port is your current job, if you are working part-time or full-time at another job, or your husband, or however you sustained your income. Those are the things that are your safety net. But what I'm encouraging you to do as you craft your brand message is to move away from the port, move out into the deep waters, but anchor yourself in your why. This is a scary task that we have to work with. And I'm going to give you, actually, I'm going to start right now. I'm going to give you 1 minute to write down your why. Write down your why. And if I haven't made it clear, why is the core reason that you want to help people. So Even if it doesn't come to you right away, just take a minute. We're going to take a minute just to think about it. I believe that we all have this purpose and we all want to see people move forward in some way. The people that you're working with, you're going to help them move forward in some way. So take a minute to think about that. Why do they need to move forward? Why are you doing this? For those of you that are just tuning in on Facebook, we're digging deep today. Today I'm really want to get hands-on with you ladies and really think about why we're doing this. Getting deep into the core. Okay. So I also want to stress, if your business is a product, even if your business is classes, there is some reason that taking your class or buying your product is going to help that person. So take a minute to really dig deep and think about why. All right. Now, going on, moving on. I'm going to guess that for most of you, okay, there was a need that you had in the past. So your what was the need you had in the past? What was it that you needed guidance on? And you found an opening in the market for this guidance. Someone or the someone that you needed was not there to help. So you stepped up and created this business. What was the need you had in the past? So in your workbook, it says, take a closer look at your what. Chances are the need you are fulfilling is a need you had in the past. The need you are fulfilling is a need you had in the past. Okay, because we all didn't get to this place from day one. We worked hard to get here, and now we are in a position to help other people move there. And I have had clarity calls with so many women over the past couple of weeks, and some of their fields are in pain management, arthritis, money management, obesity, infidelity, childcare, communication. There is so much need for what you have to offer, but be very clear on the need that you are fulfilling and making sure that that is your passion. It's not just the thing that you think will make the most profit. if you want to be sustainable, you've got to dig deep. And I remember a particular call with a very successful entrepreneur. She had received so many accolades in her life. She was in her late, well, I would say she was almost 60, late 50s, and she had done numerous community service, won awards for that. Her family had been to the White House. She had done a lot of work. I remember it was in the finance industry and big corporations, really big corporations. And now when we spoke, and this is what I like to do, I really like to soul search with my clients. When we spoke, you could see in her face that she talked about building a new business, because I think she also got swept away into the online movement. And she wanted to build this new business, which was again, a finance business. And I worked with her on crafting her message and coming up with titles, and all of that was good, but I still didn't see her resonate with any of it. So usually I work with clients for an hour. This went into 2 hours. And finally, towards the end, she began to reveal that she loved counseling young people. She was working with the teenagers and 20 somethings in her family who needed relationship counseling. And the minute she said that, her face lit up. Like, I've been doing this for years, and I think I can build a business on it. And we talked about that, and I said, wow, this is really your passion. And she said, yes, but I have no credentials. So it was a bit disheartening, because after speaking to her for so long and really nailing her passion, she came back to a place of fear. And we talked about that yesterday. Fear has a function. Fear could be telling you what you need to move toward. Yes, it's trying to protect you from rejection or from some form of disappointment. But going through it on the other side can be your joy. And I talked with a sister, Whitney, who told me about, well, we heard it before, false evidence appearing real. And I'm going to give fear a new name today. Fear has a function. My new name for fear is fully energized. All resources. Fully energized, all resources. Your mind, your heart, your knowledge, your experience, not the knowledge, because this is your online brand, which is you, not the knowledge and experience that you had on your CV, the knowledge and real life experience that you have in your heart can help someone. There is someone to move to the next level. So dig deep and stay with it. And this is why I'm here today. I have my little sticky notes all the time. And about 2 months ago, I said, leap and learn. Because I have a technical background, so I was in analysis paralysis. I spent 2 years studying entrepreneurship for women, and some of my mentors may be on the line today, and getting information overwhelmed and not taking action. because I did take action in the past, lost some money, got afraid, said I wasn't going to do that again, and just stopped completely. But that's not the way to go. We can educate ourselves to be more aware of how the business works, and then take action. Take action. Fear has that function. It can tell you what to go toward. So going back to the workbook, I want you to get a visual of who you have already helped. Get a visual of who you have already helped. That is the number 4 in your workbook. And I say already because here we're digging deep, but we are also becoming visionaries who look into the future. There is a future for this woman that you have already helped. And I believe that if you're on the line today, you are ready to go, even without a fancy title or a fancy web page. You are ready to help someone with your resources. Get a visual of her. What is her family situation? What is her marital status? What is her background? Him, or if you're working with him or teens or young people, it's okay to get specific. Because when we get specific, that's when we start to really tap into our inner voice. Mass media and marketing people will have you spend thousands of dollars. We're putting something online that appeals to everyone. And of course, they'll be getting their commission for months. And I almost walked into that scenario. I mean, it's a necessary thing, but I almost walked into that scenario many times, and something about it didn't resonate with me. I said, how can you help me sell my brand when you don't even know what my brand is? You have not taken the time to really ask me what I'm trying to achieve, but you can turn something on social media and have me throw thousands of dollars at it. So get to your core and think about who she is and or what is the way or the solution that she needs right now. And also think about what are the other solutions that have been offered to her that have not worked yet. So what I want to do here, I want to give you 3 minutes for this one. Yeah, let's take a minute. I'm going to give you some thinking music because this is super, super important that you, those of you who haven't thought before, think now, what person? Why have all the other that have been left her stranded? What does she And this is the beauty of a unique brand, is you have a combination of experiences that no one else can bring. So when you are clear about who that client is, you can just speak directly to her using her words. Okay. So I'm hoping I can get to see a few more faces. Okay. And for some of you, this may take a little more time. And that's okay. You can work on it. The workbook also has a note page in the back. You can continue to work on it over the weekend. And we can even talk about it a little bit more on Sunday. But remember that for this woman, her solution, her way out is you. You are presenting someone a different way of looking at it. And everything you have answered here will become part of your deeper mission. And if you are able to articulate that, then your client will come to you. Now, the challenge is, what if? So this is another person, I call it Mr. What If, that comes along and says, what if my ideal client, the one that my heart really wants to help, can't afford my services? What if she's not on social media? Or what if, there's so many what ifs that come to us. One of the things that we're working on today is getting comfortable on camera. What if I don't have the ideal look or presentation to attract this client? What if I don't have the credentials? And he asks me about my credentials. These are all of the big old, I call him Mr. Big Old What If, that is just keeps hanging around. And he's gotten awfully comfortable on the couch, and some of you ladies need to kick him to the curb because he is going to hold you back and stop you from doing what you need to be doing. Mr. What If, let's take a look at Mr. What If. All he wants to do is keep you where you are and say, let's not move on any further from this. What if my family doesn't approve of what I'm doing? What if I'm supposed to do this service for free and not make any profits because I'm a coach? I'm trying to help people. How can I charge a premium for helping people? What if people judge me? There are so many what ifs. I'm hoping I can get a few what ifs from you. I'm going to go back to the group now. This is your opportunity. Put your hand up if you can give me a what if. Actually, you can just put your hand up naturally if you have a what if that comes to mind. So yeah, I'm back here on the Zoom. All right. Anybody, can you think of a what if that might hold someone back from moving forward in their business? That's right. All right. All right. Yes. All right. Are you able to unmute, Beverly?
What if I fail?
What if I fail? Yes, that's a huge one. Just let me turn my volume up a little bit. That's a huge one. That's a huge Mr. What If that just sits there, and we have to think about that. We have to address that. Why is that what if hanging around us? What is the worst thing that could happen? What does that failure look like? I mean, I know we're supposed to visualize positive things all the time, but what is the definition of fail? Is it the end of the world? Does it mean you're going to be banished and put into some corner of society somewhere? It could actually feel like that. I actually thought that way. I remember in the past, because when I was coaching online, people did not think that was a job. So when I came back to the US to my family, everyone, no matter how busy I was at work, everyone was like, did you get a job at a company yet? So I felt, oh my goodness, I have to live up to a certain expectation of others. Not anymore. Not anymore. But that was my upbringing. So the what if I fail is often in relationship to how other people perceive you. Because when you're pursuing your passion, you're feeling good, but other people could see it. So any other hands? Yes. What is another what if that can come up? Any other?
I'll go. What I have heard many women share with me is the fear of the imposter syndrome.
Mm. Mm. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Like what are they? What is
Feeling as though if they show up in that space, that they would questioning their ability to present in a way that they are the expert and not feeling like they're an imposter within themselves.
Okay, so someone is, or what if someone says, who are you to be doing this?
And it goes back to the credentials. So if you don't have the credentials, the title, they feel more likely to be questioned about their ability to serve and meet the need in that capacity. So,
all right, so let me address that now. I've often said that because someone did ask me, what are your credentials in branding? And I was like, University of Branding. My first reaction was the School of Hard Knocks. Okay, we have all been there. And for my English learner, the School of Hard Knocks is an expression that means you have suffered and suffered and suffered and learned from your mistakes. Life experience gives that to you. And especially when you reach a certain age and certain stage of life, you know the pitfalls that an entrepreneur or someone in your industry could fall into, and you can smooth that pathway for them. The biggest what if, you see, everybody, and this is another analysis of paralysis situation, thinking that you have to have all the expertise in the world to help that one person. You don't. And for me, with the mentoring program, it's like I do not need another degree. I went and I got another master's. I don't even know what for in education technology. I don't know. I did not need that to come alongside another sister and say, hey, do you need help? And okay, what the point that I'm really trying to get at is she may feel more comfortable and confident with you alongside her on the journey, on the path, on the learning path, than someone who is way up there. And that's one of the experiences that I've encountered many times. There are so many, yes, someone gave me a hell yeah. There are so many people that are in their business and you can't touch them. They got too many credentials. You don't feel comfortable speaking with them because you can't say, I don't know what I don't know, because you don't know anything. I felt that way when I was in classes, sometimes in the engineering courses I did. I wanted to ask a question, I wanted to say something, but I didn't even know how to ask the question or going forward or what it was that I needed next. So this is a what if that we need to focus on. What if I succeed? What if I succeed, ladies? Take a minute to breathe that in. Breathe it in deep. What if I succeed? You are ready and poised to bring a change in someone's life. I'm going to say someone times a million, but let's start today with focusing on the one. And you know the struggle. So she needs to know your struggle. Sometimes we just need to be relatable because there are so many people out there in pain that don't even know they're in pain. And I'm going to talk about finances because I know I have a couple of ladies on the line that are working on their brand and helping people in the financial area. A lot of our pain comes from money blocks or not knowing how to manage money. And so we are living a life small scale, with a job that we hate, with a lifestyle that we don't want because we're not able to be aware of what other things or options are out there. And this is where you will come in and step in and show somebody a new way of seeing things and doing things. And you can, with that unique message, you can reach her in a way that no one else can. But sometimes, and this is what this today, Speaking Your Passion, is about, you need to straight up tell her what you can help her with. Straight up tell her, your finances are a mess. Okay, we could say it a little bit gentler than that, but you get the point that I'm trying to drive home. If you pretty it up too much, it might just fly over her head. Come with it, at least for today. What you write down, make it raw and unapologetic. This is what I'm going to help you with, because I see you. Okay, just take a moment, breathe that in, see what it's like if what you succeed, what happens to her life if you succeed, and moving on. What does her life look like now? So this is the joyous part. Sometimes it's hard to dig deep into the sad or the emotional parts, but we did say that key to creating your brand is creating that emotional connection. But this is a joyous part. What does her life look like now that you have helped her, him, they move forward? And I'm going to, someone give me the timer, 3 minutes, okay? I am definitely going to set the timer on this one and give you some thinking music. What does her life look like now? And if you think you already know, that's okay. Dig deep again. What did your life look like after someone presented you with the solution? Or you learned the solution the hard way? Imposter syndrome is a liar. If you have changed lives, helped people recover from pain or financial instability, or even just communicate in another language, you have moved that life to another place. It's a beautiful thing. So number 4 in the workbook, get a visual of who you have already helped. What does she look like? How does she feel now? Okay. How does she feel after her life has been changed by you? Okay. So. All right, so coming back in, taking those deep breaths. You can do this exercise. You have the workbook, ladies. You can do this exercise. And for those of you that are joining me live on Facebook, come back and do this exercise from time to time when you need to get clarity again on who you're ready to help and what your mission is. And this will keep you grounded throughout all the distractions, marketing, technical problems, anything that could come along to stop you. So one of the things I want to say, we talked about, what if I fail? Again, what if I succeed in helping that person achieve freedom? What does her life look like now? I put it in one word. It's going to be freedom for her, because she is able to experience life in a different way that she wasn't able to. And it all comes from you getting the confidence to put yourself forward, move forward, get online, get your message out there, tell whoever needs to hear it. And if you tell it raw, even if she doesn't see it, I'm sure maybe somebody that knows her, a family member, might point it out to her and say, this is the place you need to go for the help. Here, as we dig deep today, I'm talking about one of my idols was Marilyn Monroe, a woman who really, really struggled. I watched a documentary on her. I don't know. I take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to these true life stories. But we do know, I think we can agree that she had a struggle on her hands. People thought that she had it all. But in her own heart, there may have been some of that imposter syndrome as well. Never feeling good enough, no matter how successful you get. And that's something that another sister can help you with. So if you're one of the coaches, there is help for you to get past that imposter syndrome. There is help for you to get past that fear of failure or mind blocks. She said, I'm one of the most self-conscious people. I really have to struggle. You might not believe that, but our insides also need work to catch up with sometimes what the outside is trying to do. Do the inner work first. That is super important. One of the fun things that I have created for you ladies, and I will put the link in the chat again, is, am I showing my screen? Oh, let me show you again. Okay. Confidence hacks. So for those of you that haven't seen it already, on the website, let me go here. This is the website. VIP, ODI Virtual Academy. We can just throw that, if someone can just throw that link back up there in the chat again, that is perfect. Right here in the middle of the web page is the link to click to get your checklist of unconventional confidence hacks. And one of the things that is in there is music, because you know I'm the dancing diva. I love music. And I have a special treat for you. I don't know if I should reveal it today. Go ahead, get your confidence checklist, download it, try some of those things. They're not the conventional things that everyone is telling you. Do the right posture, do the right stance, look in the mirror, tell to yourself, I am confident today. No. Those can work as well, but I've come up with a list that I know works for me, and you can craft it, the techniques a little bit to yourself, but it includes music and a lot of other fun things that you can do. So get that checklist. That is your assignment. Try as many of them as you can. And that hopefully will give you the confidence to do your call to action 2. This is where it gets really, really real, ladies. You all have a mission, I believe, and that is why you're here. You have a purpose. You have someone that you can, and your word has power. So you need to work up the courage and the joy and the passion that you have in you to tell that not only client, that human being, what it is you can help them with. And I put a few phrases here that may help you. Tell her, him, whoever, I see you struggling with. I understand because I've been there too. I really want to help you with, because I know that after I help you, you can. And this is something, no matter what industry you can help someone. I want to say, let me give you an example. If you were a pen salesperson and you were helping someone with selling pens, okay? Because don't think that you're not helping someone. If I did not have this pen, I would not be able to write my notes today on pencil and paper and bring my ideas and creativity forward. Pen and paper work for me way better than Google Docs ever could, even though I use Google Docs every day. But my inspiration comes from that. So one little tool can change lives. Language, finances, healthcare, recovery, virtual assistants, music, whatever creative outlet you have to express your passion and move others on, tell them what it is. So that will be the call to action I will be posting that in the group. And I need you to try to put it out there, because, and I'm going to tell you why this is, I say super important a lot, but I'm going to tell you why this is super important. If you cannot tell people how you can help them, they won't know. They might like you. They might love your brand. They might be your friend and you be in your community, but they just don't know. And so I also need to tell you, I want to create, just hit me, I want to create a sisterhood. I want to help you pandemic-proof your business by making it international, connecting the dots of the sisters around the world with all the gifts they have: finances, music, freelancers, healthcare. We together in the sisterhood can help each other move forward. And I want to be the conduit for that. And I don't care if I don't have the credentials for it. I'm moving forward. I'm following my passion and doing it today. What I do have the experience for is helping people craft their message. I love words. After 2 decades of working with people who can't speak English effectively, now I'm working with people who can speak English but haven't really dug deep enough into their hearts to know what they want to say. So do your best, ladies, to bring this forward, and this is going to really change your business. When you put forward what you're going to help somebody with, what their struggle is, that is the core message that will follow you throughout your creation of your brand. So never forget it. Please put your video up there today. We had some technical problems putting the video yesterday, but I've released it, and put your video any way you like. Perfectionist out the window. Do your video as you like, lady. Just make it clear that you are raw and real and telling your clients who they are and who you are. So we're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to have some music going out. And because this is the weekend, those of you that are interested in sticking around for a few minutes, I'm going to go over the homework, the assignment of yesterday, which is, can someone tell me what the homework was for yesterday? Aha, see, now you're in detention. Go ahead, unmute yourself. All right, I'll tell you what it was. For those that are on the time limit, thank you for joining me. I am so pleased and happy to have you during this time. But the assignment from yesterday was, what do you expect from an accountability partner? So for those ladies that would love to stick around a few extra minutes, we are going to talk about how to build this community of sisters. Thank you, lovelies, for joining me. And I appreciate your time for those of you that have to leave at the hour and those that can stick around a few more minutes. We are going to talk. Let's say a little goodbye to those that have to go. And let's say a little hello and stretch. Woo! For those that are still with us. For part 2. Okay. Oh, great. So I have with me a few ladies, and this is the big question. What do you expect from an accountability partner? So I hope you took a moment to write down some of your ideas. Go ahead, put your hand up in the chat. You know that little reaction feature in the Zoom, click more and then click reaction.
I'm on the phone. I have problems putting this hand up.
Okay. But you've already unmuted. So do you have some?
Yeah, I just wrote it just like now during the class because I just did the video, but I forgot of the part. But what I would like to give and as well maybe then expect back as well is some honest feedback, like negative as positive.
Yes.
Like I've been in another group and people say, oh, this is maybe too harsh. I didn't like that or that in your video or so. And I said, no, exactly. That's what I need. Otherwise, I can't grow. So, of course, you always should start with something nice, and always something nice is in everything someone is doing, but then as well get some really to the basics and say, okay, this could be improved, and don't be shy of telling others even some negative things. That's what I would expect.
Some authentic feedback.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that. And this is something that we can also learn how to do. Because for me, when I see somebody giving really harsh negative feedback, my mama bear comes out and I say, hey, this is part of my tribe. Don't hurt her. But Stephanie is saying she appreciates that. She can handle that and she can recraft her message based on that feedback, but it has to be given in a way that it's constructive.
How you formulate it, how you bring it over. That's there's different ways, and that should be a positive way. But don't, if you really don't like something in another post, because and this is what you need to grow. I think with your accountability partner, you really need to be honest and open, and always friendly and smiling.
Yes, I've only had one accountability partner. And again, this is why I love the idea of the sisterhood, because you have the variety of people giving different feedbacks, and you can also kind of pick, choose, and refuse what resonates with you, because sometimes if we are not giving our authentic message and someone gives us feedback on an inauthentic message, like some of the examples I told you, the people I work with, you're not going to be able to receive it because you're not really telling them what you're doing. You're holding back something. You're mainstreaming it. And so that makes it very hard for them to give you feedback on something that you're 100% not committed to. So be careful of that. And okay, that brings another thing to mind, but I'll come back to that. Anyone else would love to give me some details, what you expect and what do you need from an accountability partner? Just raise your hand manually and I'll call you. Come on. Yes, Vanessa. Oh, yes, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. First of all, my apologies. The time difference has me a little bit confused. I thought it was 7
I'm
in my
glad.
time, but okay.
I'm glad you.
I would say cheerleader. You always need a cheerleader so that you can cheer each other no matter what. If you're feeling down or up, that you always have that person who can cheer you on. So I would
Yes,
say cheer. Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. And I know some of our sisters, I want to give a shout out to Sister Elizabeth Carlton, who's not here with us today because she has a meeting. And Liz, who's going through something with her, Tina, who's going through something with her family and couldn't be here today, who I've seen in the group just cheerleading people on. And you need those people who are committed to putting that feedback out there, saying, I see you, keep doing it, good job. I love that. I love doing that, but it's not always time permitted to get to everyone. So that's why all of us need to be cheerleaders. And that's one of the questions that I ask in my group. Can you be a cheerleader? Can you look for the positive in someone else? Because we can often see the negative in ourselves. Sometimes that's all we see. So when someone gives us a compliment, it's like, yeah, okay. I bought this on sale. It's the first thing I used to say. I'd never just accept the compliment and say thank you, because I felt like someone would judge me if I just accepted it. And so cheerleading is a great thing. Keep going, keep going. What else can we? Yes, Dr. Denise.
So I would say support and a helping hand, genuine support and a helping hand.
Yes.
So, and let me elaborate a little bit more. That, to me, that looks like, depending on where a person is in their journey, if they're at the resistance crossroad and they need a helping hand to get across the street or to break through that point of resistance, have someone else take them by the hand in a supportive manner and walk them through those steps, taking that time, investing that time in someone else's success. To me, that is of utmost value. And I don't see it often enough, but I know it exists.
And it's called, I can reframe that by just saying the time, giving that time to a person. You do not have to be an expert in the tech. You do not have to be an expert in creating visual graphics. But if you sit down with someone while they're going through that process, a lot of times they break through and they realize, this is the way I should do it. And this is one of the things I love to do in my coaching, and I'm sure many of you will be doing in your coaching and whatever business you have as well. You will be taking the time to sit with someone and really help them break through to the other side. And that's all it takes, because a lot of us have it in us already. We know, and this is what this session was about, we know who we want to work with. We know how we can work with them. I call it the blue dress or the red dress syndrome. Every time, this was years ago, when my mom used to get dressed up to go to a fancy banquet or dinner, she would often ask me, should I wear the red or should I wear the blue? And I would say, the red. And I'd give a whole dissertation on why the red would pop and be fantastic on her and da 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 da. And she would say, and come out with the blue dress on. And this happened several times. And I would say, Mom, why do you keep asking me my opinion on this? Sometimes we need to hear the opposite opinion before we understand what we truly want to do. It gives us a kind of mirror to reflect on. And that's huge. And this is, I had to learn this in coaching and helping women, that sometimes we as women say, yes, that was good advice, Diva, thank you, thank you. And then I see you do something completely different. It's okay, because as long as the time was spent helping you get the clarity, it's not time wasted. You needed to see that. I'm trying to remember, a very, really not so great coaching session. Oh, an accountability partner from another entrepreneur group, which I'm a member of. I showed her my workbook. This is my old workbook. You guys are seeing the new refreshed version. I showed her my workbook, and she had like criticism after criticism on each page. This is a no-no, ladies. Please don't do that to people in my group. And she had some, and I said, you know, she had some criteria that was based on how people should do social media. I'm like, this is just a workbook. Oh, you can't put your image on there. And so needless to say, that was our last accountability session, because I needed to hear at least one positive. I needed to hear, yeah, you got your workbook done. Because when I was in my perfectionist phase, trust me, this workbook was a book. It's a 38 page book. Unnecessary, but that is where you start. Everybody has to start from somewhere. And as Vanessa said, cheerleading is needed. All right, I'm going to call on some people. No, I know you've got something for me. Miss Rev Bev, you got something for me?
Hello.
Hi.
What I keep thinking in my mind, and I think it's already been said just in different ways, but for me, for accountability, I need a truth teller. I need someone that's very genuine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And but every time you say this, even if you're saying the same thing, it hits me in a different way. I remember a sister saying, I'm going to come along side you and help you with XYZ, and you can help me with XYZ. And I said, wait a minute, you just volunteered me to help you by saying you were going to help me. That is not genuine. That's not genuine. And in my old days of being a people pleaser, I would have been like, yeah, all right. But then I said, hold on a minute. What are we saying here? If you want to help people, then it will come back to you. If you genuinely want to help people, you will receive back with them. There are some people that will pull on your time. And this is the next thing that we want to talk about. Some people are experts in that in our group, and we're going to learn more of that as time goes on. Building boundaries. As I have been going into the process of creating this talk, there have been people that I have helped, and I've given them that time, I've given them that hour, I've given them that 2 hours. And I thought, okay, you're on your way. And then they have come back to me day after day after day with more and more questions. And I have to sometimes say, no, I don't know, or put my blinders on. And it's not meaning any personal offense. It's not that I don't want to help you, but if I am always giving to you, I will not have anything for myself and for others that I need to work with as well. So sometimes that comes down to creating a boundary where, or learning how to say no when the time comes to those who don't seem to get the hint the first, the second, the third time. It's really good to have those boundaries. And yes, you have another one, go ahead.
So I wanted to add to that. That was really good. I think accountability should include accessibility with boundaries, but also a level of trust.
Okay.
Not like your best friend, but whether if you're in a professional environment or whatever, arena you all met, and it should be a level of trust and confidence that you hold to move each other forward. Not, I'm more advanced than you, I have to move you forward, but I'm judging you. So non-judgmental support. And again, like I said, like you had mentioned boundaries, but also accessibility with boundaries. So you all can continue to grow together.
And this is something that thank you, Doctor. This is something that we have to work on as coaches and helpers. Boundaries can be created, and this is one of the things I've done, if you see on my webpage, by a $sign. Okay, that at a certain point, the free stuff, the free help needs to stop. Of course, within the sisterhood and the accountability partner, giving is a good thing, but we can also establish that when we are a professional, when we are at that level, we're not judging anyone, but you need to pay for services rendered. If I am going to help you build a website, and that's not just going to be me coming alongside you as a sister and talking with you for 20 minutes or half an hour, I'm actually doing a physical service to you. I'm actually coaching you. I'm teaching you hypnotherapy and all of those tools that I'm using to help you. There has to be a $sign on that. And there's no shame in that. That's why we're here, because the more giving can be serving. And this is what a lot of the gurus are telling you. The more you have to give, you can serve others. If I am paid for my services here, I have more financial freedom to take care of me, to take care of my family, to take care of other needs, so that I am in a place to give more and more and more without being depleted. And that is super, super, again, important to recognize. And if there are no other comments about what you need in the sisterhood, we are going to wrap up in, I think, in a good period of time, just a half hour. I'm going to go back and look at this video and the feedback that you guys gave and use it towards creating this sisterhood, this international group. And I really want you guys to remember the CTA. Vanessa, go back and look at the replay and then come back and get this CTA, which is talk to your client. Tell her how you can help her. And you can also add in there the sisterhood, like tell how you can show how you can advise a sister in moving forward in her mission, her goals. And there is no need for a fear of imposter syndrome when you are authentically helping. There is no need for that. But okay, I will be posting this in just a few moments. And I just want to thank you all for coming today. Let's put my goodbye music on and hope to see you tomorrow. See you guys. Bye-bye. Ciao.